Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. The practice of gratitude is good medicine for many things in our lives. It is a strong element in being resilient, being kind, being at peace, reducing anxiety and depression. Well, the list goes on. We can make a practice of listing things we are grateful for or putting words of gratitude into our everyday language. But a couple of weeks ago, I discovered another way to magnify gratitude differently. We were at the lake cabin of our dear friends Roz and Jim Hamburger. They'd finally completed the addition of a small room to the cabin that would house a washer and dryer. Roz said, "I love having a washer and dryer here, and I never take it for granted." Over the next 3 days, I heard Roz say several times, "I never take the washer and dryer for granted." It got me thinking that naming what we do not take for granted is like a gratitude exercise. Saying, "I'll never take that for granted," is akin to saying, "I'm so grateful for that." Saying you don't want to take something for granted is saying you will think deeply about it with thankfulness each time you see it. I remember the first morning after I retired. I sat in my recliner holding a cup of coffee and thinking, I do not want to ever take for granted that I can get up in the morning and sit in this chair with my favorite coffee cup and read as the day begins. I think of that every single morning to this day, and I don't take it for granted. When our daughter moved in with us and our son and his family moved just 1 hour away, I have said over and over that I will never take for granted being close to these people I love so much. Here's a funny one. When we moved to this house, the bathroom sink had a hook water faucet that lets me rinse my hair so easily. Silly, but every morning I think about it and I will never take it for granted. These rituals of assigning value to things or people that are precious to us can make us feel happier. At the same time, we must be willing to face the fact that we may lose things, time, or people in our lives. That is reality. And if we don't admit to that to ourselves, we live in a sort of denial that could cause deeper anguish if we don't prepare for loss. So we can love and enjoy people and things to the fullest, knowing that if we lost them, it would be a way of life that we would deal with. The news gives us so many thoughts of uncertainty today. With war raging and people's lives abruptly disrupted in our country, we don't feel the certainty of life as we have known it. I don't know about you, but I am so much more cognizant of realizing what is in my world and what my life consists of every day. And it makes me bring these words to my lips. I will never take for granted. Hmm, And I fill in the blank. What are the relationships you never want to take for granted? Mentally thinking of each of these people in your mind is a great practice. How many times have you heard people lament after a death that they never said what they wanted to say to that purpose or a person, or that they always thought they would be there? It may sound morbid, but thinking of people you love with a thought in mind that they might not always be here will help you intentionally cherish the relationship and never take it for granted. Life is fragile and the future is unknown. Growing up, goodbyes were the hardest thing for me. I would often cry leaving my parents when I went to school because I was afraid that I might not ever see them again. When Donnie and I had been married for some years, we were leaving my parents' home to return to Iowa, and as usual, I was crying for about 20 minutes down the road. I remember that day because I mentally asked myself, if something happened to my parents and I never saw them again, would I have had enough of them to continue life without them? Enough of their wisdom or our time together? And it suddenly dawned on me, yes, if that was the last time I saw them, I would have had enough because I never took them or our time together for granted. That was a life changing realization. So living with intention leaves us with enough, and we can go on. I hope you are already going through a list of things or people that you don't want to take for granted. When you make a habit of noticing and intentionally naming these things or people, it makes your attitude soften. It makes you thoughtful. I think that naming things or you don't want to take for granted might be a good antidote for anger, worry, or fear. Try making a list of things and people you don't want to take for granted. I hope it takes a whole tablet of paper. If we remember the things we do not want to take for granted throughout our day until it is a habit, we will develop a sense of peace. It is often in nearly losing something that you discover how deeply meaningful or precious it is. It becomes elevated to a place of honor, never to be taken for granted, even if it is a washer and dryer. So, start your list and develop a habit. This week on your bathroom mirror, write, I will think of things each day that I never want to take for granted. Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.